Hi everybody, it's Laura Muir here. I hope you're all enjoying the Move Pre-Workouts Run Club event today. I'm really sorry I can't be with you all. I'm currently in Switzerland on a training camp preparing for the upcoming World Championships in Tokyo. So yeah, I think as you're seeing this I may well be flying flying to Tokyo. But yeah, apologies I'm not with you, otherwise I would be there on the day. But yeah, they've asked me to film this little video message for you all so I can say hello virtually and just give a little bit of background about myself working with the company and answering some of your questions that you've given them. So yeah, just a little bit of an introduction about myself. I'm a 3-time Olympian and Olympic silver medalist from Tokyo. Won some World Championship medals, lots of European Championship titles, and also Commonwealth Games champion too. So yeah, I know a little bit about endurance. It's all been in the endurance events from 800 and I've raced some 5Ks as well. Been in the sport for over a decade at this level, travelling all over the world competing. So yeah, I think that's why when the opportunity came to work with Move Pre-Workout, it was a brilliant opportunity for me, and I'm really happy to be working with them. You know, they're an amazing company. It's so nice to have a local Scottish company that I can support. Ultimately, it's always going to be about the product, and the product is very exciting, just so useful in so many different ways. It's really great to be involved with the company and excited to see what they can do moving forward. So I've got some questions here I'm going to answer that were submitted from your 3 run clubs. Question number 1 is, how do you fuel before a big race? For that, it probably depends kind of what time of the day it's at. Most of my races are normally in the evening. I just make sure to have a bigger lunch than normal, and usually I have porridge about 3 hours before I race. This is just something that I've done for years now. I just know it works. You know, having porridge at that window from the race, I just know I can digest it well. It gives me the energy that I need. I'm not going to be hungry. It's also something that I can, you know, pack in my bag, whether it be a porridge pot or a porridge sachet, and you can just add hot water too. So yeah, it's just really easy to travel with as well, and it just gives you everything that you need, and you know it's safe in terms of, yeah, you can digest it well and it's not going to cause you any bother. Yeah, that's the main thing I would use leading up to a race. Move Pre-Workout would also be very handy as well. You know, it gives you your electrolytes, it gives you your caffeine. Sometimes if you've got a race late at night, you need a little bit of a hit. That would definitely be something I incorporate into a race strategy as well. So it gives you everything that you would need from a kind of a liquids point of view. Question number 2, what's your go-to recovery routine? I will be using this in the upcoming World Championships because I will have heat, a semi-final and hopefully a final. So it's really important to recover in between rounds. So normally what I would do is use a protein powder in a sachet, nice and transportable. You know that it's sealed as well, and I can just add water to that and it just gives you kind of everything that you need. And straight away, kind of as soon as I finish racing, quite often we can give it to the media people in the mix zone. So literally as soon as I walk off the track, I'm going through the press area, I can get that straight away, start that recovery process really quickly. I also quite often have a sachet of cherry juice. That can be really good. You know, it's high in vitamin C, antioxidants. That's just a good little additional thing that I can put on board. And then usually once I'm back to the hotel or en route back to the hotel, depending on travel logistics, I'll have a sort of a good meal as well, which either I'll pack up beforehand or I'll have back at the hotel. It's important to try and get both protein and carbs. Question number 3, any race day superstitions or rituals? To be honest, I don't know. I compete in so many different environments. You're never too sure what they're going to have, you know, whether that's from a nutrition point of view or travel logistics, warm-up logistics, what's available at the hotel or the stadium. I think, you know, I have sort of what I know I need to do, but I keep it quite flexible, because what you don't want to do is rock up to competition expecting X, Y and Z that you need to perform and you don't have it. I'm quite relaxed. I know what I need to do in my warm-up, which I can kind of do anywhere. It's nice to have some things, but if it's not there, I know how to deal with it. Yeah, probably the only thing would be my porridge, to be fair. Yeah, just 3 hours before, but that's sort of within my control in a sense that I can take that with me. But no, nothing really superstitious, not really any particular rituals. Yeah, I think the less I kind of think about, the better, in terms of the less things that could go wrong potentially. You know, I don't want to have a lucky X, Y, or Z and then find that I lose it or I can't bring it or something happens. No, I try to avoid sort of anything that could just throw me off. And question number 4 is, how do you balance speed and stamina in training? As a 1500 metre runner, that's my main event, that's a middle distance event. You do need speed and you do need stamina. Quite often I'll do track sessions multiple times a week, which kind of hones on that speed side of things. You know, I work in the gym a couple of times a week, which is really important for conditioning, keeping you strong, and that is really important in terms of injury prevention as well. Then I also do lots of runs. My long run on Sunday, I've got up to about 80 minutes, so I run by time as opposed to distance, which I think I quite like to do, because I think, you know, if you're tired, you maybe don't run so far in the set period of time, but if you're feeling good, then you run a little bit further, but ultimately you got the same time on feet, which I think is really good. My long run's 80 minutes and I can run, you know, about 13 miles or so in that time. So yeah, it's a bit strange, I guess, as a 1500 meter runner. You wouldn't necessarily expect me to be running 13 miles, but it's funny how you kind of have to focus on kind of each end of the spectrum, and it kind of all meets in the middle. But yeah, additionally, you know, every athlete's different, and everybody anatomically and physiologically is different, and you give each person the same training and they'll have different outcomes. What works for you, what you can manage in your day-to-day life. I'm very fortunate, I'm a full-time athlete, so I have the time to do all these different aspects, but sometimes you just need to cherry pick what you can and can't do, what's available to you. It is a balance, and you've got to try and incorporate as best you can everything that you can without overdoing anything either and causing an injury. You don't want to do too much speed and injure yourself. You don't want to do too much endurance and not be strong enough. It is a balance, but quite kind of independent on the person. Question 5 is advice for runners chasing a new PB. I'm going to be controversial and say don't chase a PB. I think what's important is maybe to focus on the process and not the outcome. I think a lot of times where I run a PB, I've not actually focused on I'm going to run a PB today. I've just been really sort of engrossed and focused on the race itself and just racing. And then just by being so sort of involved in the race, I've had a PB at the end of it. I think focus on the process, focus on doing everything that you can to get yourself to a PB. So make sure you've got good quality training. Make sure you got good quality nutrition, get your sleep in, that's hugely important. Just being consistent, looking after yourself. I think if you can do everything you can to look after yourself and get as fit as possible, a PB will come at some point. You know, if you put the work in, you will see the results. It's just when. And I think don't necessarily label something as I want to run a PB or I'm chasing this today. Sometimes it can just be the weather's awful, or you have problems getting to competition, your train or plane might be delayed and you're really tired, you might have had a really busy week at work. Focus on the process, be patient, it will come with time, hopefully. But I think I've learned from experience that if you have your heart set on, I want to do this today, it doesn't always happen. So there's so many things that are out of control, especially in endurance running. I would just focus on trying to get to the start line in a good place, be patient, and hopefully that PB will come. Question 6, best tip for building endurance. I'd probably say it's a little bit similar actually to the previous question in that I would say just be patient. With endurance, you know, it's not like a skill-based sport, it takes time. You can't jump from A to B straight away. In order to not be injured or break down, you've got to be sensible. Just be patient, slowly build, whether it's your mileage, whether it's stuff in the gym, like don't add crazy weights on, you know, each week. Don't jump your mileage a lot. Be consistent with it. Just because you've got a week off work, don't go crazy and start doing loads of running. You know, build into it. And the same thing, you know, if you've got a busy week as well and you're not able to do so much, you know, don't worry about it, don't stress about it, but then just build in slowly afterwards. I think it's all about trying to be as consistent as possible and just being patient, because it is a tough sport. It's hard, you have to put an awful lot of work in to get somewhere, but at the same time it's really, really rewarding as well. And sometimes you can see, you know, improvements week on week, and it makes you feel really good too and keeps you fit. I think for me it would just be patient and enjoy the process. You got to enjoy it with endurance running, you know, it is hard, but that would probably be what I'd say. Yeah, is just be patient with it, and it will come with time, but it is going to take a bit of time. It's not a quick fix process. You got to get that training in order to build your endurance. Last question, how does Move Endurance support you in your training? I touched on this a little bit in the beginning. It's got so many different things all in one go. Before, you know, I might have a coffee, I might have electrolyte tablets, I might have, you know, vitamin C. This has got everything in it. I'd normally have it, well, Move pre-workout, I'd have it before training and like during training, because it's nice to kind of sip on. One thing I haven't mentioned is it tastes really nice. I've got the watermelon sea salt, so it's just nice to sip on training other than water, because water can just get really boring. It's nice to use that during training. If it was a training session early in the day, I might have like one in the afternoon as well. It's just with the caffeine, I wouldn't have the caffeine too late. But then I know some people can have caffeine at any time of day and they can still sleep at night and they're fine, but I tend to need to have it a bit early in the day. It's just really good for having pre-training, during training, and just giving me everything that I need during the session for, yeah, essentially it's all based around endurance sport, which is fantastic because that is what I do. So yeah, ticks all boxes with a lot of things. So I think that's all from me. Apologies again that I can't be there. I hope you all had a great day. Good luck for any upcoming competitions and with your training. Hopefully I'll be supported really well by Move pre-workout. Don't chase those PBs, but work towards them. Enjoy the process. Stay well fueled and hydrated. with these guys. Yeah, good luck with anything coming up in the future. Bye!